Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to Mzab. It's been a while since we've touched on this save, quite a while indeed. And that's because for the past week I've been in a pretty bad state. I've been horribly ill. I'll spare you the details, but bad enough that I wasn't going to be streaming. But I'm back now, I'm feeling fine, and it's time to get going with Mzab again. Now, even when I'm gone from a game for just a couple of days, I tend to forget just about everything. So you can just imagine how bad I am at recalling what is going on here. So we are Mzab. We're going for the third way as really the third option. Got to eradicate Sunni and Shiite as an Abadi nation. At least I think that's what we're going for. This has been carried over from a save on the review copy, so... well, got one achievement, go me. I don't think I'll be eligible. Maybe I'll be able to find a way to change that, but no guarantees. But I don't need any Steam little icon to feel good about myself here. I'll be just fine. There's a random new world. We're colonizing it. Normally I'm not the biggest fan of colonizing, but I figured what the hell. We've got a brand new world to work with. Figured we'd go out and make it ours. So what's going along? Well, the Moroccans tend to rise up here every now and then, and I just throw them into Portuguese lands. They never quite make it, but maybe someday we will grab all this land and keep it from revolting. I think we need to take off this last province here as well. Well, it's even nice and developed for us. So yeah, we'll be coming for them eventually. Our glorious religion is spread across our realm quite well. We used to have this area under indirect control via our vassal Algiers. In a series of 2 wars, the Iberians came and smacked us. I just rolled over and now the lands have gone to them. If they're converting it to Catholic, then, well, that's as good, for the achievement at least. Not happy with it still. We'll have to get Algiers their land back at some point. It's nice to see that I have manpower and a bit of money. I strongly recall running my nation into the ground when I was playing whilst tired. We lost a fair chunk of land to the Ottomans, and most of that we've managed to get back, mostly due to defections from Mamlukian rebels that we've been exporting. But I think now is the time for rapid growth for Mzab, since we're in a good enough position to do so. Currently at war with Alodia to grab something around here. I'm sure I had good justifications for my war with Alodia. Can't remember them at all. I also want to reassert control over Mecca and Madin Sulaim, because it kind of looks bad having this mess in my empire. I also need to eventually get these lands back. Well, let's take it slow and figure out what is going on from here. Because I'll be honest, I'm not all that clued up. Yeah, what have I even got going on here? Right, if memory serves, I forced all the enemy over to Darfur, and I was keeping them over there. Yes, keeping them over there. Pinned in with my 9,000. That's probably what I was doing. That makes a degree of sense. Beat them up, try to get all the riches I can around here, and everything will probably be okay. Got Karaman here, who would look much better in our empire. Otherwise, though, my guys aren't doing much. My diplomats need jobs, and I'll find jobs for them down the line. I'm being asked, why was there no stream this Tuesday? Well, there are many reasons for it, but the one we'll roll with is the fact that I was ill, and I was horribly ill. Right, we should be plenty good enough to destroy these folks. Hopefully the Ottomans aren't seeing this as the ideal opportunity to go and ravage us, because it... well, surely not with all the problems that they're having. If the Ottomans were to declare war, that would be quite the surprise. There we go, testament to our power. And this is good because we've got them in this position, where there's only 2 provinces they can enter. Oh, well that was not so good. I had my king sieging. He died. Our terrible heir is now in charge. But at least we get to grab ourselves a new one. I have not been paying attention to our estates, but one thing I do seem to recall is that we have the emirs on the gold province. I'm having none of that, to be honest. Get off of there. Removing them made them a little unhappy, but it'll also remove the autonomy on that gold, and I need that gold. Prestige is far from an issue, and we really need those emirs to be happy with us. Is that the only one that gets the emirs happy? Then we'll make it so. And always keep sending them in on the front lines, because that's just how we roll. He's actually not too shabby at besieging, so keep at it. Good to know that we are so strong, even France is no match for us. If there's one thing I find myself lacking, well, always lacking in rebels, right? Okay, I need to keep my eyes on those guys. Our force limit is looking fairly fine, so what it's high time that I invested in a couple of cannons. Culverin or large cast iron? Large. It's unfortunate to almost instantly get caught in my fabrications, because it slows it down, makes it take 4 times as long. Who's got time for that? Not this guy. And that's all we need for the 100%. All is well. Jake, you got any plans to build the Suez Canal? I would like to, but then that's the kind of thing you always would like to do. Don't think we'll be grabbing anything from Darfur here. I got my eyes on... wait, do I have my eyes on anything here? It'll probably take a wee while before I actually get my bearings again, to be honest. Because I lost my bearings long ago. Once their capital falls, I reckon that'll be all well and done. And the soba noodles are down. We got plenty of admin power to core whatever we really want around here. I don't think there's any lands that are priorities around here, really. Mostly trading in garbage. But nice to get our way down so that we can pretty much decide who's who in East Africa. Beautiful borders, right? Just beautiful. Ugly as hell, to be honest, but land is land. What am I doing here? Yeah, it'll do. Right, now we have a whole bunch of land, and that'll give the Dhimmi some influence, but again, we're just not really caring about them, and we're certainly not going to give them land. As for the land itself, nice to see quite a bit of it comes out of state, so I don't have to worry about that too much. We'll just get it all cored. That's why we save up that admin. Except for a couple of them where I would quite like to, instead of core, I guess 1, 2, 3 of them, get them converted instead. Get the armies back together as I try to figure out what in the world I'm doing. Fort, no fort? I think no fort. I mean, what have the forts ever done for me? We also find ourselves with a lot of new enemies that we could sink our teeth into. Simeon, Medri, Bahri, but more importantly Kaffa, because Kaffa has that gold mine. They also have coffee, which is like a different colour of gold mine. Wouldn't mind some of that, to be honest. And I don't mind raising autonomy across the board here, simply because we have passive autonomy reduction. And you know me and rebels. We have a special relationship. Let's see, so who is disloyal right now? The Ulema certainly are. I could always give the Ulema some land. Not sure which provinces though. Useless wool and slave provinces are probably not too shabby there. Keeps them happy enough. Zergling is asking, am I ill? Well, I have been pretty damn ill for the past week. But I'm feeling alright now. I still think the Ottomans are the worthy rival here. All is well for our country, though. Even though I have no clue what to do with my diplomats here, could always be getting a claim on Yemen, since the Ottomans aren't going to be helping them in any wars with that enormous amount of debt. And Ajuran, well, are they really a threat? Shouldn't write them off, they have gained a huge amount of power here, including those gold mines. And Ethiopian land isn't too much of a concern since it's all Coptic. Well, there is always the Kafan land. Right, I think I was meant to be dealing with some revolting Mamlukians. 11 months, not on my watch. Now, I'm sure I had good reasons for allying Spain, just struggling to remember what they were. Jake, check allies for possible Otto scum land. Oh boy, I'm seeing the Otto scums right. I should hesitate slightly on this one because those Mamlukians are just going to come barging into my territory. Similarly though, alright, I'll probably let them run into Kudus. Were they part of my anti-Ottoman alliance? Ooh. Well, they're too in debt to consider that. Persia would drop on in, but really there are so many rebels for me to worry about in the Ottoman lands. It might even be worth my time just to let these Mamlukians enforce their demands. That way they'll break off of Ottomans as well. But another part of me thinks that that's quitter talk. The Hassalis are a nuisance though. I figured they would have gone over to Hassa's land by now, but they have not. And if I take that, they're just going to instantly march over to the other province. Troublesome. Oh well, I gotta stop them, even if they are going to try to pretty much kill me. You can't worry about all these things though. You were planning war against the Ottomans so they won't attack you again. That makes a degree of sense. Right, these guys muscling in on my territory is not great. But at least with this I can stop them from straight up defecting. I've also got what I need to get the drop on Karaman here. Right, as expected. So there we go. We got 7,000 of those catamans. We'll take care of them, no problem. 7,000, huh? It's an ideal stack to take care of them. Could get our heir on it since he's good at the sieging, and he probably won't die. And all is well, except I don't like to move people out at the turn of the month. Jake, I was hoping you would be ill until after Monday so I can study for my exams without getting distracted. Well, at least part of your heart was in the right place there. Okay, now we can move away to Cyprus without having to worry about the turn of the month. We're going to take one turn anyway, since we'll be landing over here. But you can't worry about everything. Cataman, I need your nation inside me. These Mamlukian guys are no joke, though. They're probably going to cause me quite a bit of hassle. At least to sell is nice dry lands. Nothing for us to worry about there. Jake, lazy colonist. Yeah, we did just finish one there. I need to think of a name for this colonial nation that's going to spring up any moment now. But I got nothing coming to me right now. If you have a brilliant idea, I'd love to hear it. One brilliant idea, however, is to get the important centre of trade there. Because someday we'll have control over the money here. There we go. Now Mozabite Ososari. Ososari. Are they having a laugh? Point is, that's not a great name. Someone out there must have a better one. And I want to hear it. Now, thankfully we have a couple of maneuver here, so it won't take forever for all those guys to reinforce. It'll still take longer than ideal, so I'll probably ship in some fresh folks. Whilst the Mamluks do their little jumping around on my country, but that's alright, it's to be expected. No, we've already named somewhere Adventure Island, so we're not going for that. Nothing but terrible ideas. That's a shame. Those Mamlukians, they're going to run over quite a bit of this land, which is a shame. But what isn't a shame is getting our conquest on the glorious gold of Kaffa. And their allies are Harar and yeah, these guys, but I can just run them down. It would be no problem. They don't have any cores on us, so they wouldn't disrupt our current cores. Shame about those disloyal Demi. And the game tempts me so. Thinking about grabbing that administrative support, so what I will do is I'll seek their support to get them to have some more influence over my country. 66, it still only allows for 100. I would like them to have a bit more influence. I'm not sure if I want them to get it for 30 years. And that's a little high as well. Well, I could give them a touch more land here and there. Certainly don't mind getting the reduction of unrest around here. Can't remember what levels they need before they're going to start giving me 150 instead of 100. It might be over 70. Not really keen on giving them the ivory though. Still 100, huh? Maybe it needs to be over 75. Well, I'm not about to tempt fate that hard, but do give me your admin power, please. Thank you kindly. 75, huh? Okay. Not going to push it that hard, to be honest. Alright, just going to call it Little Mzab. Okay, so the Hassalese separatists have now adopted... Wait, what? Don't know what they're doing with Algiers' coat of arms. Why do they have that? Ha! Funny, but at the same time, what? They're going to cause me a real issue unless I get my troops over there, which means war with somebody. Ottomans or otherwise. Or it might just defect and I'll fight them for it. Either way, it's not too shabby. One thing I would not mind doing is threatening war with the Ottomans. I wonder if they would cave in or not, since they're not in much of a position to surrender. Not in much of a position to hold on to what they have. I am curious. I think they're supporting your Hassa rebels. You telling me I should kill Algiers? Because that's what I'm hearing. Now the Ottomans got back their fort, which the Mamlukian separatists did have. So the Mamlukian separatists should hopefully feel the desire to go back over there. In the meantime, I can just enjoy all the pains from having these rebels march across my land, but that's fine. The lazy colonist is still an issue though, since I still have one here. Could throw one down here to get rid of the no adjacent malice towards growth, but it's only 5. And to be honest, I'm thinking I only want that area for the Centre of Trade modifier, because at the most part, the development here is, 5's not all that in a bag of chips. But dominating this area... tricky. Tricky indeed. Well, I'll at least get my land stitched together there. And I should probably have good relations with Little Mzab there. Is Hassa Ibadi? Hassa is not Ibadi, Hassa is Shiite. My merchant guilds are acting all up. Well, I'm certainly not about to lose that. Yikes, goodbye money. First religious and not admin, oh my. I very seldom take admin. I think it's a great idea group, and I certainly fell in love with it recently. But religious first, since that's our holy mission. Might as well obliterate their fleet for a free little chunk of everything. But otherwise, our troops are heading home, and you sell, and all your money and your religion are forfeit. Makes up for that bad event. Got a nice fort. You know my feelings on forts. That said, it's a pretty important fort to have with regards to the upcoming Ottoman war. If I really wanted, No, they're not willing to give up any of our cores. Relative strength of alliances says nothing about it. Maybe because Hungary is in tatters. It's a shame that Persia takes your side there. If Persia were just a little bit more exhausted, they wouldn't, and then I'd be free to attack Hassa and finally get the port that I need here. I suppose alternatively I could build an army that could fight these guys, and then that would deal with the fact that they're going to secede in 29 months, huh? 29 months, you say? Well, might be able to build enough men to deal with you by then, actually. If we just strictly went with this province. Would be a bit poor, though. Would have to get started early, though. Can't do mercs in overseas, so that's a moot point. Trebizond packs quite the diplomatic punch. Jake, Karamani vassal. The thing is, it's overseas, so I can core it half price, and I see no reason not to core something at half price. Might as well throw the autonomy down since it ticks down and doesn't even have far to tick. Good old Greek island, our new holiday home, for example, doing just fine in that regard. Mecca does concern me a bit here. I want to rise up and take this back. But even if I do... And again, I could also get there if I just fought the Ottomans, but the Ottomans have a bunch of friends as well. And the Spaniards are not interested because of their debt. Hungarians are not interested because they're getting flattened. Touching on the Hungarians, they're getting so flattened. They're only in one war right now, but they were previously in 3. I don't even think they're the target of the war here. They were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Jake, if you don't connect the land up with Arabia and Ottoland, it can be cored overseas. I know that. That's why I'm making my little incision here. Still not sure about the fort, though. There's plenty of forts in the area that I can have later. I'll just destroy it for now. It's got plenty of other buildings. I'm sure they won't miss that one all that much. Well, you know, if I get lucky, the Mamluks will... Hold on, I just had an excellent idea. I had an idea that's really excellent. But at the same time, it's a little stupid. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Well, what the hell, we'll do it anyway. Let's head on down south. I know this bug. Oh, that's fine. We don't lose anything. How long do you guys have to secede? We'll be fine. Oh. When the game offers you money, though, I'm gonna have to take the piety since I have land to convert here. Including you folks should probably take care of that. Now again, I'm not too concerned about these guys. They'll ravage my country for a bit, but then they'll head off over to greener pastures. And little Mzab started to westernize already? Crivens. They are keen.